Hey guys, this is Abhishek from gadgetsnews.com, and today we are going to do the quick hands-on review of the HTC Desire 500. We have the device with us and we have the polar white version of this device, as you can see, and this device is looking very good in terms of the build quality. That is something I must say. And again, this looks like a unibody device, but it is not a unibody device. The battery can be removed from this device and we will just show you how. When it comes to the overall look and feel and the form factor, this device is pretty good to hold in one hand. In terms of the specification, it does offer you a pretty good specification for the price point you actually pay for it, but again, it is not a very fast phone or not a very high performing phone in terms of the overall day-to-day usage. So first of all, if we talk about this device in terms of the form factor and the build quality, the build quality is definitely kind of plastic, which we see on this device. We have a plastic back cover on this device, and again this looks pretty good. You have the nice HTC branding over here in the middle. You have Beats audio on this phone, the loudspeaker over here. You have the camera. The camera on this device, as far as the back camera is concerned, is an 8 megapixel camera, which is again pretty good, and it is quite decent to take photos from this device in daylight, and in low light the photos are also pretty okay. When it comes to the LED flash, you have the LED flash over here. On the top you have the 3.5mm audio jack. Over here you have the physical home button, or basically the power and sleep key, not the home button. And then on this side we see nothing, no buttons. And over here we see that the back cover does have these buttons, which is there for the increase and decreasing the volume. So the volume rocker is actually 2 buttons which can be easily pressed, and they give you feedback. Not a very good feedback, but again you will get used to these keys once you start using the device. And at the bottom we have the 3.5mm audio jack. Over here we have the primary microphone. Although we are not able to locate a secondary microphone on this device, and we are not sure whether you have the secondary microphone or not. And here we have the nice earpiece, as you can see on the plastic body of the phone. We have the front camera. The front camera on this device is a 1.6 megapixel camera, and it is a fixed focus camera. And at the bottom we see that this device follows the same design which we have seen on HTC One. But again, there is no HTC branding in the middle. On the front, at the bottom, you have the physical home button, which is on the right hand side, whereas the back key is over here. They will light up whenever you press them. And let me just remove the back cover. And again, in order to remove the back cover, you just need to push the phone from bottom like this, and once you do it, you can easily remove the phone out of the back cover. And again, this phone is a dual SIM phone, and the SIM card slot one will accept a 3G SIM card, whereas this one will accept a 2G. And you do have micro SD memory card slot on this device to expand the storage, and the inbuilt storage of this device is 4 GB. And here we have the battery. The battery on this device is 1800 mAh, which is again pretty okay for this much of display size. If we talk about the display size which we have on this device, it has got a 4.3 inch display, and you have a resolution of 480 into 800. And again, the resolution does not feel like low, because you won't notice the pixelation on this device. As far as the pixel density is concerned, the text is rendered pretty nicely. There is no pixelation which you can notice with naked eyes or with the camera. So again, this is pretty good because of the font size and other things. And again, this device is also running the latest version of HTC Sense UI, that is HTC Sense 5.0, the same which we see on the HTC One and HTC other premium devices like HTC Max SL. And in terms of the blink feed, you do get blink feed on this device, as you can see, and it is again looking pretty good. That means you can actually enjoy the same features which you see on premium HTC phones. This one will come for a price of around 20,000 Indian rupees, which is again pretty affordable. But again, in terms of the hardware specification, it is pretty okay. Not a very exciting phone. In terms of the processor, we have a quad-core 1.2 GHz Cortex A5 processor. It could have been better if it is Cortex A7, but again, you have Cortex A5 processor, and the overall interface of the phone is pretty fast enough. You won't notice the slowness of the device in terms of the overall day-to-day usage. In terms of the overall performance, it is also pretty good, but again, not a very high performer in terms of the gaming or in terms of the graphics or in day-to-day usage, but again pretty good. Now, one thing important to note here is that although the camera on the back side on this device is an 8 megapixel camera, but it can only record high definition video at 720p, not at 1080p, and 720p video can be recorded at 30 frames per second. Now talking about the physical dimensions of the phone is pretty okay to hold in one hand. You can easily hold the device in one hand. It is also not very heavy in terms of the weight. It is around 123 grams in terms of the overall weight, which is again pretty good. In terms of thickness, if we take a look, the thickness of this device is 9.9 millimeter, which is again not thin but not very thick as well, and the back cover is again glossy in nature, so it will attract the scratches. It will attract the fingerprints very easily, although you won't see the scratches very easily because it has a fine coating which will protect the back as well from getting any scratches. Back cover is curved in nature, so you will get a very nice grip when you hold the device in one hand. It won't slip out of your hand, that is something which I can say. And you have a nice lining over here as per the color which you have got, so this also looks pretty good. And in terms of the build, it is again plastic, but very good quality of plastic with matte finish which they have used on the edges. Now here we have the home screen. Again, you can have multiple home screen on this device depending on the number of applications you keep on installing. You do have the access to all application drawer. You can customize this drawer as well to show more application. You can customize the arrangement of the application in terms of alphabetical manner or with the most recent application, so that you get to see the application which you have recently installed. In terms of the phone dialer, if you take a look, this is how the phone dialer will look like. And again, the phone dialer does not have the option of making the video call directly, and messaging application is also optimized in terms of the overall look and feel. Although the kind of keyboard which you have on this device, the keys are pretty big in size, but they are not very easily spaced out from each other. But again, you will not face any problem while typing on this device because the display is 4.3 inch, not a very small display and not a very big display as well, so it is rightly sized. And again, if you face any problem while typing in the portrait mode, you can always type in the landscape mode as well. But one thing I must tell you is that you do not have swipe to type on this device supported, so the continuous input is not supported. And if we take a look over the notification center, the notification center is kind of simple. And let's go to the settings. Over here in the settings, we can see that the overall UI is also kind of optimized, and it is looking a little bit different. And when we have the software version, the software version which comes preloaded on this device is 4.1.2. and if we take a look at the storage over here, let me just show you the storage scenario as well. So under storage, we can take a look over the memory area. So you have 4 GB of internal memory, and out of which around 3.49 GB is being used, and the available amount of memory is 522 MB because we have installed couple of applications and games. The default storage which comes for free on this device as far as the available storage is concerned is 1 GB approximately. And again, you do have support for micro SD memory card slot that we showed you when we removed the back cover, but again, you do not have the option of installing applications directly on the micro SD memory card basically, and maybe you can do that. But so as you can see, we have already inserted a micro SD memory card onto this device, and again, we do not see an option of installing applications on the micro SD memory card. But again, you can change the storage settings to store all these data either on the phone storage or on the micro SD memory card. You can select that, so this way you can actually save space on the device. The inbuilt space which is available for applications on this device is going to be 1 GB, and you can reduce you can stop using that space, especially in case you want to install more applications and some kind of heavy games. You can do that by making sure that you install you select the storage options for the camera, for the picture, for the album as SD card, not as the phone memory. Now when we talk about the RAM which we have on this device, we have 1 GB of RAM, and out of which around 780 MB of RAM is available to the user, and we have around 403 MB of RAM which is being used, and rest of it is actually available as of now. So again, the amount of free RAM which you have on this device is not much, but again, the device is responsive because the UI is kind of optimized in terms of the overall performance, so you won't see the lag on this device. That is something which we can notice. As far as the sound settings are concerned, you do have different kind of sound settings for different things. When it comes to the ringtone for the wall, ringtone for the call, ringtone for the messages, you can adjust that. You do have the option of pausing the phone or making the phone mute. When you are getting a call, you can flip the phone like this on a table and the call will be muted. You do have a pocket mode in which it will automatically increase the volume of the device whenever the device is inside your pocket or in a bag, so the ringtone will be louder in that case. And you can also reduce the ringtone volume whenever you move the phone. So in case a call is coming and you move the phone, it will automatically adjust that it will automatically get an idea that you would like to reduce the volume, and it will do that. That is something which is also possible. And you do have other options when it comes to touch sounds, screen lock sounds, which you can adjust, and you can also specify whether you would like to have vibrate on touch. Most of the people are kind of annoyed with the vibrate on touch, so you can control that. When it comes to the Beats audio, the Beats audio is there on this device, but is only available with the headphones. The headphones which you will get with this device is going to be in-ear headphones, and again Beats audio is supported on the in-ear headphones which are supplied with this phone, not with the third-party headphones. And the loudspeaker on the device, which is actually at the back side, it does not support Beats audio. Now to show you the overall performance of the device as far as gaming is concerned, we are playing this game which is called Temple on OZ. So we are playing this game to also test the touchscreen responsiveness. So the touchscreen is pretty responsive while playing this game. In terms of the graphic rendering, there is no problem with this device while playing this game. This is a casual game which we are playing, and there is no issue as far as the game playback is concerned or the touchscreen is concerned. The controls on the touchscreens are also accessible, so there is no problem with this device as far as playing this game is concerned. And the sensors on the device are also working well. As you can see, the gravity sensor is working pretty well. Now as you can see, this is how the camera UI look like, and again the camera UI is also kind of optimized in terms of the overall look and feel. You can easily tap over here and start the video recording. Although the camera UI may look like that you might have seen it on the HTC one, but it does not support the HTC Zoe mode. That is something which we can tell you. As far as the photo quality and the settings are concerned, when it comes to scene mode, you have HDR mode supported, sweep panorama is also supported, you have anti-shake mode as well. That is a kind of a electronic image stabilization which you can have on this device. When it comes to the video quality, you can record high definition video at this resolution, and the maximum resolution is 720p. And when it comes to the storage, you can specify the storage. You do have continuous shooting mode with limit to 20 frames per sec, basically 20 frames in terms of the overall numbers. And you do have other options like auto upload. That means you can actually upload the photos once you take from this device. You have the digital zoom over here, which is not a very helpful option, I would say. You can control over the flash over here, and when it comes to the other options, you can switch over to the front camera as well. So this is how the UI will look like from the front camera. And again, the front camera is a 1.6 megapixel camera, and it is capable of doing a high definition video chat. The overall feed from the front camera is also looking pretty good, so you can do a good quality video chat, and this feed is also not hazy. It looks good. And let me just go back to the main camera. So here we have the main camera, and let me just take this photo of this object over here, and we are going to take this photo in low light. Let's find out how does the photo looks like. So in terms of the overall daylight performance of this device, the camera photos are pretty good from the 8 megapixel camera on the back. When it comes to the low light photos, here we have the actual object, and again the photo looks good in terms of the colors, I would say. But in terms of the details, even when we have taken a macro shot as of now on this device, the details are not that clear, but again they are pretty good, I would say. So the daylight performance of the device is pretty good, whereas the low light performance is pretty okay, if not too good. So as you can see, we are playing a YouTube video from our channel, and this video is getting played in high quality, not in the high definition format, because of the resolution which we have on this device is pretty low. And again, when it comes to the video playback is not full screen. We can easily notice the black bars on the top and the bottom, whereas there are no black bars on the left or the right. You can play this video. In terms of the viewing angles, the video is looking good. You can see the display from extreme viewing angles without any issues, so it looks good in terms of the viewing angles, as you can see. And as far as the display is concerned, we have a TFT display, so you can't expect much from the viewing angle, but again they are pretty good, if not very wide. In terms of the volume of the sound which comes out from the loudspeaker, so the overall volume of sound which comes out from the loudspeaker is not too loud, I would say, but again it is pretty okay, and it also will get muffled whenever you place the device like this on a table, because the loudspeaker is actually at the back side and it will get blocked partially, not completely. Now here we have the browser on this device, and again the browser is also kind of optimized in terms of the overall look and feel, but it is pretty good in terms of the rendering of the text. It is pretty crisp and clear. There is no problem with the pinch to zoom. It is quite fluid. You can do panning as well. Double tap to zoom is also supported, and when it comes to playing YouTube videos within the web page, you can do that. The Ninamark score which we have got for this device is 38.5 FPS, and again this device is pretty good as far as the gaming is concerned, although it can play casual games pretty fine like Temple Run, Ovid, Subway Surfer without any issues. So you can also play medium graphic intensive games on this device, which is again going to be Frontal Commando D-Day. When it comes to heavy graphic intensive game, you might notice some graphic lag whenever you play them on this device, but again it is not going to be possible because the device internal storage is not that much that you can actually install heavy graphic intensive game more than 1 GB in terms of the size. On multi-touch, this device supports only 2-point multi-touch. And here we have the hardware configuration for this device. We have an ARM V7 processor on this device, clocked at 1.2 GHz. When it comes to the processor, you have quad-core processor on this device, and the chipset from which it comes, we are not sure about that, but it is Z4DUG. That could be the HTC own chipset on this device. We are not sure about it, but it looks like Qualcomm, and we will confirm that later on. When it comes to the resolution, it is 480x800, and the GPU on this device is Adreno 203, so it has to be a Qualcomm chipset, as you can see. And when it comes to the sensor, we have 3-axis accelerometer sensor, proximity light sensor as well on this device. Now here we have the benchmark score for this device. On quadrant standard, we have got a score of 4267 for this device, which looks pretty good in terms of the overall benchmark score which we see, and this is where the device actually ranks when it comes to comparing it with other devices. We have the detail score as well for this device for the CPU, memory, input output operation, 2D and 3D. On Antutu benchmark, we have got a score of 9634 for this device, and if we take a look over the ranking, in terms of the bar chart, we can see that this device is at low level when it comes to comparing it with other devices, but again this is a budget device and you can't expect much. But in terms of the overall benchmark scores, if you compare it with other devices, it is not too good. Also, I would like to point here is that this device does have LED notifications as well, so you will get the notifications for the missed calls, messages and other things on this device. When it comes to location, the GPS navigation is also supported on this device. You just need to check all these options and the GPS navigation will start working on this device without any issues. As far as internet sharing options is concerned, you do have the option of sharing internet by creating a portable Wi-Fi hotspot on this device. That is also possible. You can create a portable Wi-Fi hotspot and you can share the 3G internet with the SIM card which you have inserted in this device. Now when it comes to the OTG support, you do have OTG supported on this device. Whenever we connect a flash drive like this on this device, you can see that this device does detect the same and the USB storage is ready, and we can actually start playing movies from the flash drive with this device once it is connected with the OTG cable like this. For the overall battery backup, this device is not too good, but again it will give you around 1 day battery backup if you are a moderate user. That means you actually do not watch a lot of videos and you also do not play a lot of games on this device. In that case, for day-to-day applications usage, you can easily get 1 day of battery backup. But if you are a heavy user in terms of gaming or in terms of the video playback on this device, you can actually cannot expect a 1 day battery backup. It will be little less than 1 day in that case for you. And again, in order to increase the overall battery backup, what you can actually do is go into the display settings and decrease the brightness, and if you decrease the brightness, you can actually get more battery backup. You also have the option of automatic brightness option on this device because of the proximity and ambient light sensors over here. So that's all from us as far as the full hands-on review of the HTC Desire 500. We really like this device, although we have a new device in the market which has been announced recently from HTC, that is HTC Desire 501. That will be a much better value for money device as compared to this one. But again, good news is that for this device as well, which is a quad core device, although the HTC Desire 501 will be a dual core device, you will get this device at a little bit cheaper price point, because HTC Desire 501 is already launched at a price of 16,000 Indian rupees, which is going to be the MRP of that device, and this device is retailing for 20,000 Indian rupees. So once the HTC Desire 501 will come in the market, you can expect the price drop in the HTC Desire 500, which is again a pretty good device in terms of the overall performance. The day-to-day usage, there is no problem with the device. The only limitation which we see on this device is the inbuilt storage, which is only 4 GB, out of which around 1 GB is actually available. So you cannot install heavy applications and games on this device. That is a negative thing. Again, the loudspeaker is not too loud, but again pretty good for day-to-day usage. So do let us know if you have any specific question for this device. We would love to help you. You can like this video if this video helped you by clicking the like button below. You can subscribe to our YouTube video channel for more videos like this by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off. Thank you.